Hello, friends. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Why don't you go down, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell so you don't miss any episodes. As for my fans and subscribers, welcome back. Thank you for the patronage. I really do appreciate it. Today's topic is Jesus' death and 3 hours of darkness. Not much else I need to say. Let's get on with the video. Don't forget, I now have a merch store. It's on my website, link in the description. Go there, see if there's anything you want, and I get a percentage of whatever you buy. So go get something for yourself and show me a little bit of loving. Some claim that a chronologer named Thallus, who wrote somewhere around 52 CE, wrote about the crucifixion of Jesus and about the darkness that surrounded it. This is not true. We actually have a direct quotation from Thallus, and it does not mention the crucifixion. The Synoptic Gospels all derive the claim of 3 hours of darkness from Mark. It is significant that neither John's author nor any other New Testament writer refers to this. Don't you think that's strange? Surely it warrants mention from Paul, who was Jesus' only contemporary. Since the Synoptic Gospels rely on Mark for information, it is far more likely that the author of Mark either made it up to fulfill prophecy or to symbolize the death of a king. By all accounts, the crucifixion took place around Passover, which always takes place during a full moon, making a solar eclipse physically impossible, because the moon is on the other side of the earth at that time. In addition, solar eclipses only last a few minutes and darken only some of the earth, not all of it, like the Synoptic Gospels say. What is often cited as the Thallus quote actually comes from the 9th century Christian chronologer George Syncellus, who is supposedly preserving words from a work that does not exist anymore by 3rd century author Julius Africanus. From the context of Syncellus, we cannot deduce what Thallus actually wrote, but it manifestly does not say that Thallus mentioned Jesus. This assumption may derive from the work of Julius Africanus. It seems likely that Africanus made this inference from Phlegon's work, although Phlegon himself makes no mention of an eclipse happening during a full moon, or that it lasted 3 hours, or that it even took place near Palestine. One reason that Julius Africanus may have made this inference may be if Thallus connected this darkness to an earthquake which happened in connection with an eclipse in the year that Africanus estimated the crucifixion happened. However, there is a fatal flaw with Africanus' estimation, and that is Africanus based his calculation on the book of Daniel, not on historical sources. That alone should give us pause, but the problems pile up from here. Another fact that should make us think twice about using Thallus as a source is when he wrote. Although there are claims that he wrote shortly after 52 CE, there is good reason to question this. The claims that Thallus wrote shortly after 52 CE are based solely on a revisionist text that was corrupted. We have no way of knowing that this is when Thallus wrote, and therefore must disregard the text based on this fact alone. To emphasize this point, there is a reference list given in an Armenian translation of the Chronicle of Eusebius that is not preserved in the Greek translation. In this, Eusebius tells us that he used 3 volumes of Thallus' work dated from the destruction of Troy to the 167th Olympiad. This gives us firm dates of the 3 volumes, dating from the 12th century BCE to 109 BCE. As you can see, these dates are much too early for Thallus to have covered any events in the 1st century CE. Eusebius must have been using the same histories as Julius Africanus, since he gives no more specificity. Even though reference lists today are much different, Eusebius would have been much more specific if there had been room for confusion. Africanus himself states that he found this event mentioned in the 3rd volume of Thallus, which fits a work that concluded its timeline in the 1st or 2nd century. The most likely conclusion, then, is that the Armenian text has been corrupted and the work concluded on a day other than 109 BCE. The fact is that any number of corruptions are possible. Therefore, probability is our most principled way of getting to the truth of the matter. And probability tells us that it is much more likely that the original reading indicates the 217th Olympiad, which ended in 92 CE. However, it is equally probable that the original reading indicates the 227th Olympiad or even the 237th Olympiad, ending in 132 and 172 CE, respectively. Now that we got the very dirty business of the date out of the way, we can now move on to what Thallus actually said. Eusebius quotes Phlegon verbatim in his Chronicle. According to Phlegon, Jesus was crucified in 32 CE. We find in other Greek works that there was a solar eclipse and an earthquake that struck Bithynia. Although I have not quoted verbatim, but you can find this quote in my source. All we can say is that these events happened in the same year. We cannot say that they happened in the same geography, and we certainly cannot say that they happened close temporally. It seems almost certain that if Thallus had mentioned an eclipse, in relation to Jesus. Eusebius, a church father, would have certainly mentioned it, but he did not. It also appears that the Thallus quote is a paraphrase of Phlegon, whose work dates to around 120 to 140 CE. So basically, if you are using the Thallus quote to argue for the historicity of the crucifixion of Jesus, stop. And if you are not using the Thallus quote, don't even start, because it's hogwash. That's it for today. If you like this kind of content, hit the like button, press the subscribe button, and if you want to know when I come out with more, press the bell next to the subscribe button. My Twitter, Discord, email, PayPal, and website are in the description, along with the source that I used for this particular episode. You may find my merch store on my website if you want to get something for your money. Please leave comments in the comment section. Not only do I love hearing from you, but it also triggers the YouTube algorithm. Also, please keep in mind that I choose my comment of the week in my Saturday live streams from my edited videos. Keep learning and searching for truth. Here are a few videos from my library. If you have not watched them yet, go ahead and watch them and tell me what you think. Until next time, friends, stay safe and goodbye.